Hey everyone, I wanted to make a video about the fact that I have not drank alcohol in 6 months. Um, it's kind of unbelievable to me that I'm actually saying that. When I first started to not drink, I figured I would do it for a month or two max. Because I had been drinking a lot on my days off and just not liking the person that I was when I was drinking, and then also not appreciating waking up feeling like crap. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to make a change and I'm going to just stop drinking. So during the initial month or two that I wasn't drinking, an old college friend of mine, he had posted that he had just finished a year sober. And I was like, what? If Keith can do it, I can do it. Like, this was a guy I used to party with in college. So I decided then that I was going to do it for a year. And I made it official by posting something on, I don't know, one of my social media things. Like, half believing that I could do it. But then, before you know it, 3 months comes up, 4 months, 5 months, and now I'm at 6 months. And honestly, I feel great. I mean, there are times when I think about it and I'm like, oh, it'd be really cool if I could go out with my friends and just get really stupid and drunk and just be dumb. But I can do that when I'm sober too. I don't need to get wasted or to drink in order to act stupid. For those of you who know me, I can act very stupid when I'm completely sober. I figured that I would talk about, Basil's having some fun over there, rolling around. I figured that I would talk about some of the negatives and positives and the in-betweens that I've experienced so far. And I just want to say, I am not trying to say that I think that drinking is wrong in any way for anybody. Please drink. I'm a bartender, so if you stop drinking, then I lose my job. But, I also like to hang out with people who are drinking. I just have realized, and this is one of the positive things, so I'll get into that. I've realized that I don't need alcohol to have fun, and I still enjoy being around people who are, drinking a little bit. When people start getting completely wasted, that's when I'm just like, okay, maybe you should have a drink of water and I'm gonna go now. But if I was also getting really drunk, I would have probably not noticed that. So one really cool thing too that I noticed when I went to my first, it was like a party with a DJ. It was for Halloween in November 1st. I noticed that I was really nervous at first, and a lot of my drinking, I guess, came from social anxiety. I'm nervous to be around people that I don't really know, and if you're my friends, you know that I'll dance around and sing and just be weird, and it doesn't matter. But if I'm around people that I don't really know, I'm kind of shy. It takes me a while to warm up to you. Sorry, I'm still getting over a chest cold. So when I went to this party, I realized that the more people drank, the less they were likely to even realize that I wasn't drinking. Other than the fact that someone would offer to buy me a drink and I would say, no, thank you, I'm not drinking, or no, thank you, I have a drink, which was water or seltzer. Nobody noticed. And so if I was on the dance floor doing whatever weird thing I wanted to do, what do you think is the difference between me dancing sober and being silly and me being drunk and being silly? The difference is that me being sober and being silly, I am completely conscious and aware of everything that I'm doing. And I'm actually like living in the moment and appreciating all the feelings and feeling all the feelings that I'm feeling, rather than just like allowing this substance to just take over my mind and just like me doing whatever. I don't even know what sometimes I do when I'm really drunk. Which dance moves are better? I'm not really sure. I don't know. I could lie. I could lie and say that my dance moves when I'm sober are equal, but I know that at that party, I would be more relaxed if I was not drinking. But then after a while, it didn't matter. So I don't know. I guess they're equal. They're equal. I think me being sober was better. That's just my opinion because I was in control and remembered everything that I did. So that was one really cool thing. My face is a little red because I'm post-gym right now, just so you know. I've gotten a lot better sleep. So it's very well known that when you drink, you don't get quality sleep. You just go really deep down quickly into REM, and then you come right back out of it really quickly. I tend to make sure that I get my full 8 hours of sleep if I can. There are some days where I can only get 3 hours of sleep because I work a million jobs, but I definitely get better quality sleep, and I appreciate my sleep so much more. And that's something else too. When I was on vacation, I used to just get really drunk so that I could go to sleep because I'd be like, I need to drink so I could sleep, especially if someone else is in the room or I'm sleeping in a bed with someone else. I have a really hard time falling asleep because I'm used to sleeping alone or with just Basil. And I've realized that I don't I can just fall asleep really easily. And like in a pinch, I can take melatonin if I need to, if I have the full 8 hours of sleep that I could actually sleep, but I don't really need that. Earplugs, eye mask, essential oils, I'm good. My thinking is clearer. I'm not waking up with like in a fog or in a daze or a haze or whatever you want to call it. I'm waking up and I don't want to say that I wake up and I feel great every single day because I don't. There are days, where I'm sore, or I'm tired or whatever, but like no matter how tired I am, so say there are days between Sunday and Monday, I only get 3 hours of sleep between my jobs. I feel so much better with just the 3 hours of sleep than I would if I had drank a whole bunch and got a full 8 hours of sleep. 100% hands down. So the reason why, I forgot to mention this, one of the reasons why I stopped drinking originally back in September is because I was working my yoga job early in the morning. I had to be there at 6 a.m. And then I was also bartending and serving tables late, like midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning. And I would be out, like even if I had one drink, coming home that little bit later, whether it was 45 minutes later, an hour later, made a huge difference. Plus the alcohol made it so much harder to wake up with that little sleep that I was getting. So, that's another positive. I have so much more self-confidence in myself now that I stopped drinking, which completely blows my mind because when I was drinking, I called it my liquid courage, and I felt that I needed to drink in order to feel confident. But it's the complete opposite. Like, I feel that I am so much more embodied now. I still have a lot more work to do, but I'm so much more embodied because I'm actually dealing with the feelings and the emotions and the stress and everything that comes up. And because of that, I'm more aware and I'm more confident in the decisions that I make. I'm more confident in the way I hold myself. In the very beginning, I was a little self-conscious about it, telling people like, oh, I'm not drinking. And they'd be like, why? Oh my God, do you have a problem? Is it okay if I drink around you? Or they would get like nasty and they would be like, why are you not drinking? That's stupid. But now I'm just like, I'm not drinking and I like it. Like, I'm just like, I feel good about it. It's just a part of me and I feel confident about it. So that's really awesome. And that just ties in with I have more self-love. I'm so much more appreciative of myself. I'm taking care of myself. I'm, like I said, I'm going to bed, getting enough sleep, making sure I'm drinking enough water. I'm not dehydrated anymore from drinking all the time. Yes, my face is red right now, but that's just because post-workout, and I have some kombucha in a wine glass. Look at all that sediment from my mom's kombucha. It was the bottom of the container, but it's still delicious. Sometimes the kombucha turns my face a little red. But anyway, so I drink it out of a wine glass so that I don't miss drinking drinks out of those fancy glasses, because I like drinking drinks out of those glasses, whether it's seltzer, juice, or whatever. But anyway, so yeah, I have, Basil's trying to say hi. I have so much more self-love for myself. I feel more confident also in my own body. So one negative that you would call it about becoming, not drinking or whatever, becoming sober, is that I gained weight. So a lot of people, when they quit drinking, they'll lose weight because they'll stop consuming all these calories, these empty calories. Whereas like, I wasn't the type of person to, like, maybe I would have a drink a day, but I would more likely just have like more drinks in one sitting, like a binge drinking type of person. And during that time, I would usually forget to eat. So probably the calories were about the same. And then like, yeah, I would usually not eat. But then when I stopped drinking, I found myself like in situations where I'd be like, okay, well, I would normally drink some wine right now and I'm feeling stressed out, so I'm just going to eat some chocolate. It's kind of displacing the vice that I had of drinking with food, but I allowed myself to do that for a little while, or for however long it took me to be okay, because with me struggling with eating disorders and body image, I tried to allow myself, and I did. I allowed myself to be okay with that. I told myself it's better for me to be eating this food, whether it's a bunch of chocolate or ice cream, or maybe it's like chips or whatever it was. Usually wasn't the healthiest food, probably lots of cheese. Love cheese. I told myself that it was okay. It was better than drinking the alcohol. And it took me months for me to be okay with that. And it took me a while to realize that eating more food was not really helping me, but it was better than drinking. It's better than drinking because I'm in a way, I'm sort of numbing what I'm trying to feel for a little bit with food. So if I was using it as a coping mechanism, I'm a stress eater. So if I was stressed out and I was eating a bunch of chocolate, I use it in the moment. But the second that I'm done eating, the stress is still there. I just probably have a stomach ache from eating a lot of chocolate. So it helped me realize that I was using it as a coping mechanism. And then eventually sometimes I still do it, but I don't really need to use food as much as a coping mechanism anymore. Plus I'm so busy. What else do I want to say? I know I want to talk more about coping mechanisms. Oh, okay. So I was going for a walk the other day. Oh God, completely overwhelmed, completely stressed out about how I got 3 hours of sleep, and I'm working these bartending jobs and serving, and some of them I don't even make that much money, and some of them I make good money, but I got like no sleep, and I'm doing it so that I can teach yoga at these places because I don't get paid a lot of money when I teach yoga. And I was just like, so I'm killing myself to do something. And then by the time I go and teach yoga, I am too tired to even care sometimes. Mostly just at one particular job, which I'm not going to mention right now. And so I was just overwhelmed, and I was crying on this walk, just like tears pouring down from my face. I'm like passing people, I have my sunglasses on. I'm like, oh my God, I don't want to talk to anybody. And it's been 6 months. I think it was 6 months, or maybe it was like almost 6 months. And I took a deep breath and I was like, oh my God, I need a drink because I'm so stressed out. And something in my head made me realize that when I drink, I'm not actually de-stressing. What I'm doing is avoiding the things that I need to think about, the things that are pushing themselves in front of me, the things I need to actually deal with. And they're uncomfortable and they make me want to cry, and I just don't want to deal with them. So normally what I would do is go and have a drink so that I could numb my feelings and maybe forget about them for a little while. And then when I woke up, they were right there. Or maybe it was in a couple days when I like recovered or whatever. That seems extremely obvious to a lot of people, probably. They're like, oh yeah, duh, I drink to forget. But like, I never thought that that's what I was doing. I always associated alcohol with like, okay, I'm really stressed out, I need to relax. But it's not relaxing you. Well, it's not really relaxing me. I'm gonna talk about me. It's not relaxing me. All it's doing to me is causing me to not deal with what I need to deal with. It's disembodying me, and I'm working towards the most embodiment that I can get. What else? Okay, so this is a long video. I've realized that since I've stopped drinking, my excuses are my own fault now. So for example, I always have had a goal to meditate every morning. So before, when I was drinking, either every morning or every night, before when I was drinking, if I was like, oh, I'm gonna meditate tonight, I can't meditate after I've had a glass of wine, because then I'm sure some people do, I just don't feel right doing it because it's like my mind is altered in some way. So I don't like to do that. So I would be like, okay, well, I can't meditate. And then I would wake up the next day. Maybe I would have a glass of wine. Maybe I'd have 2 glasses of wine. I'd be like, oh, my head hurts a little bit. I'm dehydrated. I don't feel right. I can't meditate. So it's just like this perpetuating like amount of excuses. Whereas now it's like, oh, you need to wake up and meditate because you have no excuse anymore. I'm 100% accountable for everything that I do. And it's kind of annoying sometimes. Like, you didn't go to the gym because you were so hungover, but now it's like, you didn't go to the gym because why? Is it because you were just being lazy, or was it because you were actually tired and you were taking some time for like recovery, for rest, for nourishment? And that's okay. But if I was doing it because I was hungover, yes, in a way that's nourishing me, but I probably shouldn't be hungover in the first place, right? I would be better off if I wasn't hungover. So it makes me be held accountable for all of my actions. And I've also realized that I've started taking charge of my life a lot more. Making decisions is, I don't want to say it's easier, but because I'm fully aware of what I'm doing, making the decisions and taking charge, I feel more confident doing it, which I already talked about. I did become a little bit less social because I wasn't really invited out so many places because I wasn't drinking anymore. And that could be a negative for some people. I kind of thought of it as like, it's okay, because I can do a lot more self-reflection. A lot of the majority of this time, I stopped drinking September 3rd, and it is now March 6th. So it's been the entire winter, and a lot of the times I don't like to go out in the winter anyway, and neither do other people. So I'm interested to see what the next 6 months is going to be like, if I'm going to be invited out more, if I take that, or if I decide to like stay in. I get offers from my friends to like come over or go out sometimes, and sometimes I'm just like, I don't want to, I want to stay home. And it makes me think like, maybe it's because I've become a little bit antisocial from not drinking, but I really don't think that's what it is. I think it's been just because of the winter. Anyway, all of these things. I also joined in the program Embodied Strength. The coaches in that program, Jamie and Jonathan, are so wonderful, and that program completely changed my life. I bought a one-way ticket to Bali, and I'm going to just see what happens when I go there. And I know there's a whole big thing about one-way tickets to Bali. I get it. I have it under control. But that's huge. I never would have done that. I've never traveled alone. I've never traveled abroad, and I've never bought a one-way ticket. So I'm scared to death, but I'm also really excited. And I guarantee you I never would have done it if I was still drinking. One, I saved a lot of money because I'm not buying drinks anymore. Two, I have more confidence in myself. And three, I'm making my dreams come true every single day because I'm held accountable and I'm taking charge. So I think that's pretty much everything that I wanted to say. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask me. I think that's it. So here's and cheers to another 6 months to see where this takes me. And some people ask me, do I think that I'm going to drink after the year is over? The answer to that question is I don't know. Right now, I have no intention of drinking after, like, oh, the year's over, can't wait to just get wasted. Like, that's not what I'm thinking at all. And so I don't really know. So far, it's been pretty positive not drinking, so I don't know why I would start drinking again. But you never know. Yeah. Anyway, cheers. And I'll be talking to you guys soon. Love you.